once in a lifetime full moon, solar eclipse, you name it, any which way, in our lifetimes, we won't get another chance to, I was reading somewhere, this is a one-time karmic cleanse, that we have to spend every moment you have to go within and, identify the limiting beliefs, guilt, and, all. We'll talk about it, all the resentment and everything else, forgiveness, everything, pull it out. All stops have to be pulled out, taken it out, put it in front, look at it, let go. Otherwise 2021 is not going to be any different. Absolutely it won't. And that's what the solstice told us, that Saturn and Jupiter conjunction, it's never happened. And to Jupiter to be, overwhelmed by Saturn, if we don't do our work, that's what's going to happen. So 2021 holds the promise of something beautiful to build ourselves anew, but not before we let go of a lot of emotions that we have suppressed. It's too painful, too ugly, too stinky, and we don't want to deal with it. We gotta take it out, look at it, bring it to the light, and let it go. But anyway, now it's time. I think we should start.
Hi, Nita.
Who is that?
Janu.
Called variously Margashira and Margasirsa. They both mean the same thing. Purnima, meditation. I will take about 20 minutes, I think, to explain the significance, like we always do. And in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, verse 35, Lord Krishna says that amongst the months, he identifies himself with the Margashira month. And Marga means path, and Shirsa or Shira means the head. So basically, Margasisha means the one who leads us on the path towards the higher self. And, it's not coincidental that this month has many powerful spiritual events, we should say. One is in the Vedic tradition, Hindu tradition, it is Gita Jayanti. It is also Dattatreya Darshanam. Dattatreya is a combination of the three phases of the Guru: the Brahma, which is the creator energy; Vishnu, which is the sustainer energy; and Shiva, which is the energy that dissolves. So that one, and Vaikuntha Ekadashi. Vaikuntha is a state that when you reach Vaikuntha is where you fall down. Vaikuntha is a place that you cannot fall down from. So this month is one of the most prominent months for spiritual growth. And it offers a wonderful opportunity to always in every year, but especially so in this year, because we are entering the age of the Aquarius, and we are given one karmic, one-stop karmic cleanse to get rid of all your baggage so that you can move on to 2021 and to the age of Aquarius. Now, why Krishna is said, why did he identify with Margashira? And of all the months, why Margashira? Because he is considered a dark lord, right? Lord who is dark colored, meaning from the void. He helps us move from darkness to the light. And on all the other things, if you look at Dattatreya, you look at Gita Jayanti. Gita is where Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna acts as a guru to Arjuna, the archer, the Kshatriya, to fight our spiritual battles. Now, it is not coincidental. If you just think that Margasira is powerful for Hindus or Vedic, this thing, coincidentally, Margasira is the 9th Vedic month, and it coincides with the in the Western astrology and Western zodiac with Sagittarius, which happens to be the 9th house of the astrology. So we have the 9th month in the Vedic calendar coinciding with the 9th house in the zodiac sign of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is the most philosophical house and sign in the Western zodiac. So it represents philosophy, spirituality, religion, and wisdom. And look at the beautiful coincidence or the analogy of the symbolism. Here we have in the Vedic astrology or Vedic system, we have Margashira, which is the head, and the path Marga, and Shira is the head, which is the Guru principle, that which helps us to move from darkness to light. And in Sagittarius, there are two symbols used. One is an archer, and who is shooting an arrow into the dark. Now the other symbolism is that of the centaur, which is half animal, half horse, and half man. So if you look at the archer, it beautifully coincides with Arjuna. Arjuna was an archer too, and this archer is shooting an arrow. What do we do before we shoot an arrow? They could have chosen any imagery, but they chose this one. Before you shoot an arrow, you pull it back. So this phase is asking us to step back inside, internally. Then we are shooting what? An arrow. An arrow means it is a focused thought. First you pull back, become aware of your thoughts, bring it into focus, and then what is he doing? He's shooting it into the dark. That means we don't know what's on the other side. So it is asking of us to cultivate faith. And this archer doesn't look confused. He's confidently shooting the arrow into the dark, so that knowing that, not knowing what's on the other side, but with the faith that his arrow will go and hit the target and make him rise higher. And the centaur is the half animal, half man, tells us we have this animal instinct and a spiritual instinct, higher instinct within us. And this archer is actually trying to rise above our lower nature and try to establish self-mastery. So these two cultures, so different, Western zodiac and astrology, and Vedic astronomy and astrology, it coincides to tell us that this is the last month. You are given an opportunity to really go inside within yourself, delve into your subconscious, look at everything that you have not dealt with, your subconscious limiting thoughts, bring it out into the light and release it. If you're not able to do that, you will not be able to really go into the next phase, which is the phase of ascension, the northern run of the sun. Now that brings me to the discussion about what we did in Kartik Purnima also, that the Uttarayan and Dakshinayan. A year is divided into two phases, from January to June and from July to December. January to June, the sun is on a northerly run. Of course, sun is not moving, but it's on the ascendant. So naturally, our energy, our spirit, everything is high. From July to December, the sun is on the southerly run, it's called. And our energy, there is a natural pull of the life force energy to go down. And that what happens when there is a natural pull of the energy of all of nature, animal world, plant kingdom, human, everywhere, the energy, life force energy goes down. And because if you plant a seed in December, it's really not going to have a great growth. You have to wait for spring. We have to go with the cycles of nature. So what happens when the natural life force energy has a downward pull, enormous downward pull, inertia, we activate our Muladhara. Our energy goes to our lowest chakra, the first chakra. And what is the first chakra? Survival, stability. So we get focused on survival living and just preservative mode. To counter that, we are asked to do a lot of spiritual practices. This is the center. You have a choice to live in the animal side of you, the instinctual side of you, or you can take that your thoughts, pull it inside and let go of the arrow, go to the higher aspects, your higher self. That is the movement from the dark, the instinctual, towards the intentional. That is the symbolism of the centaur and the archer. So we have that choice. And also very important that if why should we even follow this Uttarayan and Dakshinayan, which is the when the sun is up in the northern hemisphere, our energy is high. Why should we follow that? Because if you don't follow the cycles of nature, you can get crushed by it. you will be putting more effort and getting less results. But if you go along with the circadian cycle, if you go with the cycles of nature with very little effort, you can reap a lot of benefits if you go along. It's just like trying to grow a plant in December. It doesn't work as well. If you plant the seed in spring, with very little effort, it'll blossom and grow into a tree. So that's the idea. Learn to go with the circadian cycles of nature, so that we can ride the cycles instead of being crushed by the cycles. So then this phase, also the Dakshinayan phase, is the last opportunity where we, because the energy in the nature is that of inertia, we everything is stable. It's so we are asked to go within, become stable, really purify our thoughts, our emotions. And then the next month from January is the Uttarayan, which is the month of movement. You don't have to do anything. Whatever practices you put in these 6 months. And if you don't have the 6 months, then the last 3 months, which is Kartikeya, Ashwini, Kartikeya, and Margashira, which is October, November, December. If you can't do that, this month, this Purnima, today is the last day where you are asked to go into deep meditation, connect with all the things that you have suppressed, not just from this lifetime, but other lifetime. Bring it into the surface, look at it, bring it to the light, and let it go. And you will be rewarded come the Uttarayan, when the sun is at its highest. The other thing that I want you to understand is we are entering the age of Aquarius. That's why, even though Margashira is important any year, but this particular year, why it is so important? Because we are in the midst of cycle within cycle. First of all, December 14th was a new moon, which is a cycle of 30 days. Every 30 days, there's a new moon. So you're given a chance to work with that. Then December 21st was a solstice. So that is a cycle of 3 months. Every 3 months, you have to, it's a 3-month cycle. Then you have the December 31st, which is a New Year's Eve. You have a 12-month cycle. And then you have the Age of Aquarius, which is a 200-year cycle. So this is why it's such a powerful time to take this once in a lifetime opportunity we are being given to be in the present moment, not be in the past, and not be in the future. Look at what we have, deal with the things that we have not dealt with, and let it go, which we will do in our meditation. So then that is the age of Aquarius. You have to become extremely aware of your choices, extremely aware of the present moment. That's what you've been called to do in the dark, when you don't know anything, you don't know what 2021 holds. Just like that archer of Sagittarius or the centaur, you have to go within, purify yourself, and focus your thoughts like the archer, and shoot your arrow into the dark, knowing that your higher self will guide you and get you across to the other side. That level of faith you'll have to cultivate. And this is the faith, these 3 months, 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, today, we have been given opportunity to do exactly that, purify ourselves. Now, December 14th, something very unusual, unique happened. It was a total solar eclipse. But in this solar eclipse, usually the 3 planets, there's Sun, Moon, Earth, and Rahu. But here there were 5 planets in the axis of the eclipse. There was the Sun, the Moon, Ketu, which is Pluto. Then you have Mercury and Venus. All of them came together to remind us that this is a one-time major karmic cleansing. The Sun is our soul, Atma. The Moon is our mind. Mercury is our intellect. Venus stands for the ability to resurrect ourselves, because in Hindu mythology, Venus is Shukracharya, who has Sanjivani. So it is like the proverbial phoenix. But all of them have been impacted by Ketu, the shadowy planet. And this is where Ketu came and has eclipsed sun, ripped the sun out of the sun is our soul, out of our body. So symbolically, it's saying it's taken our soul out of body consciousness. It has conjuncted and impacted all our soul, our mind, our intellect, and our ability to resurrect ourselves, and said, stop, look at it, look at what you have done all these years and all these lifetimes. You've been given a chance, a major chance, to look at yourself, and been given a chance to release the negative limiting beliefs, and own up, not just release, own up to all the things that you have looked away from, never dealt with it. And what is an eclipse? An eclipse is the shadow of the moon coming between the earth and the sun. And what happens? The middle of the sun is dark, the outside is, the rim is lit up. So what it is telling us is, whatever was hidden inside us is going to be revealed. That is the nature of Ketu. And this eclipse happened in Scorpio, which is the house of transformation and house of secret. So everything that was kept secret inside our soul, whether we like it or not, will be ripped out of us. And we have a choice to deal with it or choose to ignore it again and go into instinctual living as opposed to intentional living. And when those things come out, to look at where we have faulted, where our ego came in, where our resentment, where we refused to forgive, where we did not love, where we have taken advantage of people, where we thought we are self-righteous, we know more than everybody else. You have to look at these occasions. You have to go within, look at these very difficult, painful emotions and limiting thoughts, own up. Because if you don't, then comes December 21st, is Saturn and Jupiter. For the first time in 800 years, Jupiter did take over, suppressed Saturn, suppressed Jupiter. Jupiter is our ability to expand, our dharma, all the good things we have done, our ability to expand. And Saturn is karma, that puts the stop on our growth based on the karmic imbalances. If you have done something wrong, you have not lived up to your highest potential, you will pay for it. So this solstice, when the Jupiter and Saturn conjuncted each other, if you have been working on yourself, on your spiritual growth, you will come out on 2021 with an opportunity to recreate yourself, reinvent yourself, just be born anew. But if you have not, it will be the same as before, because you did not heed to the call of the soul. This was soul transformation. And the Venus will allow you that power to resurrect yourself. But even Venus, all these planets, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, were under the power of Ketu, which is the karmic planet, which is here to remind us of patterns we did not attend to, thought patterns, feelings, emotions, where we thought we were too clever or it was so painful that we buried it. We cannot bury it any forward unless you own up to it, unless you release it, ask for forgiveness, forgive people, unless you practice unconditional love, unless you realize areas where your ego has trumped over your better wisdom, you will not be allowed to go to the other side unscathed. And even if you realize it, this Jupiter and Saturn conjunction asks of us a major sacrifice, because there is one area in our life, you may be able to release most of the areas, where you have to stand up and give your, say that I am present, I am aware that this is where I have failed time and again. And you will know which area that is, given by the patterns in your life. It is in your health, wealth, relationship, self-esteem issues. Somewhere you've been struggling, no matter how much effort you put in, it just doesn't seem to go away, like a bad dream. You will have to sacrifice something, give up some limiting thought, some egoic thought, to be able to earn the rite of passage to go into the age of Aquarius, cleansed and in your power. But this is the opportunity. Today, we will release a lot of things. We will access our subconscious. We will pull up all these thoughts, and whatever you connect with, whatever resonates with you, just set an only power you have is the power of intention, nothing else. All you need to do is just tell yourself, I intend to release. I am sorry. Please forgive me. And your higher consciousness, whether it is Lord Krishna or Jesus or the universe, will step in, because universe does not mess with free will. Universe will only help you cleanse if you step up and say, I set an intention to let this free. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And then it's done. It's finished. You have acknowledged it, and you can move on. So this is the time that the universe is asking, the nature is asking, the planets are asking us to, this is a soul calling. Are you answering your soul? What were you born to do? And what are you doing about it? Are you even aware, or you're living and floating in life unintentionally, without bringing any consciousness to your life? So bring attention to that, because all of us here, as I can see, have reached beyond, mid age, and enough opportunity we have been given to really sit down and reflect what it is we were born to do, what is our life purpose, and what are we doing about that. So this is the time for soul calling. And if you are honest and you own up and you set an intention to release, it'll be a smooth ride to 2021. And that's all there is. And we can, if you have any questions, I can answer these, or we can move on to the meditation.
I have a question.
Sure.
You talk about, like, forgiving and saying to release it, but it's not something that can be just done one time. I mean, you can say it today and you really mean it, but it could come back again. Some other incident happens, something at work, something somewhere. So every time, you feel, I mean, you're like going down a certain path, do you say, what do you do? Because it's not a one-time thing, right?
You're absolutely right. The uniqueness of this is nothing can happen in one time. We, of course, have to do any kind of training, requires multiple times of doing it. But the beauty of this is, first, we are harnessing the nature, the energy of the full moon. Full moon is a time where very easily we can actually release anything much more easily than during the rest of the month. Secondly, we have group energy. It's like if you have a stuck vehicle and you're trying to push that stuck vehicle on a road, as opposed to have 5 people pushing with you, that vehicle moves faster. So when we have group energy and the full moon energy, it's much easier to release. But having said that, it will keep coming back. And you will have to, and all you have to do is bring awareness. That is what this Dakshinayan is, bringing awareness to your habitual thoughts, habitual words, what you keep saying to yourself and to others, how you think, how you interpret situations, and setting an intention and using 2 phrases. I cancel that negative thought, and I choose to believe in the, that center image. Imagine you can go back to that animalistic lower instinct, or you can be the archer, the human, shooting the arrow with confidence into the dark. So rising to the occasion. So constantly reminding yourself and using words like, I cancel that negative thought, that limiting thought, that unforgiving thought, that cruel thought, that resentful thought, that jealous thought, and I choose to believe instead the exact opposite of that thought. So the center, you don't stay in that animalistic lower instinct. You choose to go to the higher self.
Thanks.
Any other questions? I mean, we can always take the questions after the meditation. So let's move on to it. Make sure that you're comfortable. Find a spot where you can sit down for the next 20 to 25 minutes and take first few moments to adjust your body, and preferably don't move after that, even though the tendency will, especially when we are releasing deeply held negative thoughts and limiting thoughts, your body will twitch, no doubt about it. You will feel heat, you will feel itching, twitching. Try to stay with the moment. That is part of the practice, to let it go, and I'll guide you through this. It's going to be a very simple process. You don't have to say anything. You just have to mentally agree, visualize and mentally agree to what you hear. And another thing before I move on, I wanted to share this with you. Through my meditation this month and through the personal sessions that I had with people, one recurring theme kept appearing time and again, which is that before we move on to the Uttarayan, that is the when the sun is at its highest, and the age of Aquarius, the one place where we really need to ask for forgiveness is that of Mother Earth, because we have completely lost touch with the nature, and we have tortured animals, plants, we have been selfish, all we have thought about is ourselves. And it's time that the Mother Earth wants us to become aware of every place where we have violated her, we have been selfish, and ask for forgiveness. And this ties into the concept of runanu bandham. Runa is your debt, and bandhan is bondage. This karmic bondage where you have not paid your debts to all the people and nature and everything that has brought you to where you are right now. And this is one of the major things we have to let go of. Accept that we have been selfish. We have only thought about ourselves. We have destroyed nature completely without any thought, of doing it the right way. And one thing that the Vedic scriptures have told us is it's very difficult to pay off all our debts. Every person, every institution, every animal, every human that has helped you, you may not be able to pay off the debt. Intellectually, conceptually, you can. But one debt that you can never pay off, not even think of paying off, is the debt to the womb, to the mother. Because without that, your spirit would not have taken this physical birth. And this translates to the debt we owe to Mother Earth as well. And we have not done that enough. And that is why the corona pandemic is here to tell us that you have crossed every line, every boundary, every limitation, and it's time to fix that and to ask for forgiveness. So that will be part of the meditation as well. Okay, sit down. And let me play my music here. Just just a minute. Okay, sit down, make yourself comfortable, keep your spine erect. You can put your palms on your lap or wherever it is comfortable. Close your eyes. I'm going to guide you through a deep emotional healing meditation. Please understand that it is through yourself that you access all the spiritual wisdom and power of the universe. You are your own doorway into the deep, infinite realms of God. Use this meditation to deepen your relationship with yourself and uplift and heal just about any issue you may encounter in life. And now relax in a comfortable position and we will begin. Close your eyes and begin to deepen and lengthen your breaths. Relax your body. Visualize a wave of warmth engulf you. It starts in your toes and gently flows up your feet. Let go of each joint and muscle as this warmth flows up through your legs. Feel it flow through your joints and muscles in your hip and pelvic region. It relaxes your belly, your chest. Feel it softening your arms, releasing every little muscle in your hands and fingers as you let go deeper and deeper. Feel it warm, ease and soften your back, releasing any tension you may have been carrying, helping you to feel as light as air. Let this warm relaxation gently flow through your neck. Let go of your jaw and each of the fine muscles in your face. See if you can let go even deeper. Let yourself sink and expand into the sensation of deep relaxation. Breathe gently and naturally. Right now, you have the opportunity to observe your attachments to fears. These fears were necessary to bring you this far, but now it is time to let it go. What are you attached to that is not serving your deepest well-being? What do you need to release to make space for the new? Become aware of any past insecurities and fears floating to the surface now, so that you can face them and choose to release what is no longer serving your highest interest. Some of these emotions will make you feel vulnerable, but you cannot move forward unless you release the negative emotions that are trapping you. Allow your higher self to help you examine your past so that you can heal all the negative emotions that have shaped you so far. Let us call upon the gods, goddesses, angels, ascended masters, and saints and sages of all religions to help us remove negative beliefs, situations, or relationships. Take a moment to acknowledge any and all the fears you have been carrying for so many years. Fear of loneliness, fear of illness, fear of lack of money, fear of rejection, fear of not being recognized, fear of not being good enough, fear of the unknown, fear of any kind of lack, or any other fears. Call upon your spiritual guides to help you forgive any painful experiences from your childhood connected to your parents, siblings, friends, and all the relationships that have negatively influenced your ideas about money, love, and power. Forgiveness is a miracle worker. All you need to do is set the intention to forgive, and you will summon the highest divine consciousness of love to work its great intelligence within you. It knows exactly what to clear, release, and how to harmonize and uplift you. Forgiveness is your key to peace, love, and connection with the divine source. So set the intention to forgive, and then open your heart and witness. Bare your heart to the universe and know that it is safe to let go of the defenses that you built to deal with these fears. You are here to love and be loved. And now is your time to cleanse your heart and release past burdens. You aren't doing this alone. You are being supported lovingly by your spiritual guides. Give permission to your heart to tell you what change or healing needs to take place. And don't be afraid if your heart takes you deep down. Sometimes you have to go to the deepest truths of your family conditioning, your shared ancestral energies, or the origins of your culture in order to understand what you have been given to heal in this lifetime. How do you experience sadness and sorrow? Now I will guide you to release and let go of the common limiting thoughts, feelings, and emotions that have kept you imprisoned to your current reality. Mentally, release and agree to receive the positive energies of the following affirmations. Think of a health concern or the fear of aging and silently say, I release the fear of illness and aging. I choose to believe in magical healing and miracles. I am perfect, whole, and complete at all times. Think of a situation where your trust was broken or you felt exploited and taken advantage of, and silently say to yourself, I choose to let go of betrayal. I define my own worth by my victories, learnings, and obstacles conquered. I am divinely supported. In order to feel safe, we experience a need to control the chaos in our life and our environment. Holding high standards for ourselves and others is important, but focusing on it excessively can lead to blame and criticism. In what area of your life do you strive for flawlessness? I release my need for perfection. I choose to accept myself as I am and others as they are. I am perfect in my imperfections. Think of a situation where you are so preoccupied with your success that you trample over someone else's well being. Where do you fear losing control? Where are you unwilling to share and therefore create a mentality of lack in your life so you don't have to share? I choose to let go of selfishness. I choose to believe that abundance is my basic nature and there is more than enough for everybody. Think of an area where you blame and criticize yourself. I choose to let go of my insecurities and my low self-esteem. I choose to believe that I have everything it takes to be happy and successful in this life. I see the divine in me. I love, accept, and honor myself exactly the way I am. Where do you find yourself out of options, helpless, and out of control? I choose to let go of powerlessness. I am divinely guided to see infinite possibilities and choose solutions for all situations. Think of a situation where you feel isolated, sad, rejected, and crave meaningful relationships. Your relationships are perhaps the most illuminating teachers for discovering the truth. The divine presence. Your challenging relationships help you to see who you are and what you are being asked to heal. So rise to the challenge to look into the mirror. Let the difficult people in your life inspire you to heal and transform yourself to become a stronger vessel for love and the divine. I choose to let go of loneliness and choose to use this time of solitude for reflection, healing, and growth. What do I obsess about? I choose to do what I can to resolve a problem And then I release my anxiety and worry, and I let the universe do its part. Think of a situation where your expectations are not met, when things don't go as planned, and say to yourself, I choose to put my intentions forward for the best outcome possible and place my trust in the divine. The life lessons that I have attracted are here to serve my spiritual growth and help me to complete my divine life purpose. Think of a situation where your pride has prevented you from accessing certain opportunities and say to yourself, I choose to let go of ego and believe that my self-worth and acceptance comes from within. How do you experience sadness and sorrow? Who or what does your heart ache for? I choose to look deeply into my soul at the roots of my pain. I choose to pay attention to all the messages from my heart. I acknowledge and feel my sadness. I share it when it is beneficial. I choose to ask for help and support when I need it. I trust that all is well because the higher intelligence can never be thrown off balance by anyone or anything. Think of an area of your life where you are stuck and closed off to an unfamiliar concept. I choose to let go of stubbornness and inflexibility, and am now open to see all possibilities in life. Bring your attention to an area where you are unable to achieve success while others seem to have it easily. Think of an area where you think that the universe has been unfair to you and say to yourself, I choose to release doubt about the possibility of my success. I choose to trust the universe to deliver what's mine and believe in divine timing. Think of an area of your life where your heart aches for the goodness, beauty, and love of someone or something you experienced in the past. And say to yourself, I choose to appreciate and honor everything I experienced in the past. I am grateful for everything I have now, and I choose to be in total appreciation of what unfolds in my life, moment to moment. Think of an area where you're self-righteous, an area where you believe that only your opinions are right. And tell yourself, I choose to release my sense of false morality, judgment, and hypocrisy. I choose to believe that there is my truth, their truth, and the divine truth, and pray to be guided towards the divine truth. Acknowledge any remaining emotions that have kept you disconnected and disempowered, and set an intention to let it go too, right here, right now. Our spiritual guides are guiding us to ask for forgiveness of Mother Earth during this final full moon of this year, reminding us to understand who we are, our place on earth, and thereby harmonize with the universe. Mother Earth is the goddess, the raw, untamed, wild part of the divine. She is also wise and ancient and the source of all abundance and creative power. Our ancients called her by many names: Pachamama, Prakriti, Divine Mother. The COVID pandemic came to remind us that power is not that valuable and money is not that powerful when we are fighting for oxygen. The world continues its life and it is beautiful. It has only put humans in cages. Mother Earth is sending us a message. We are not necessary. The air, earth, water, and sky without us are doing just fine. When we re-emerge on the other side of the new year, let us remember that we are Mother Earth's guest, not her master. If we choose to respond with the power of love, gratitude, and forgiveness, know that the new year will be a magical time to plant new seeds of health, happiness, success, prosperity, and peace. Mother Earth is first and foremost our mother and waiting to forgive and take care of her children at the slightest call for help and love. So silently agree to these statements. I release control and surrender to the love that will heal me. Mother, I am coming home to the place where I belong. I want to be free, so free, like the dolphin in the sea, like the flowers and the bees, like the birds in the tree. I want to fly so high, like an eagle in the sky. Mother, I'm coming home to thee. Visualize kneeling down and putting your head on the lap of Mother Earth. It is safe to let go of control, worry, and not know what the future has in store because you are safe and taken care of by the Divine Mother. And when you start truly trusting her, you can experience nothing else but your safety, security, and support. Just let the vibrations of this prayer and song wash all over you and soak every cell in your body. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I hear your heartbeat. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I hear your heartbeat. Hiya, 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 ho. Hiya, 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 ho. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I hear your heartbeat. Hiya, 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 ho. Hiya, 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 ho. Earth, my body, water my blood, air my breath, and fire my spirit. Hiya, 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 ho. Hiya, 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 ho. Earth my body, water my blood, air my breath, and fire my spirit. Hiya, 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 ho. Hiya, 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 ho. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I hear your heartbeat. Remain in this sacred silence for a moment. Take this final opportunity given in 2020 to acknowledge every place you let your ego, your lower self, come in between you and your higher self. Acknowledge places where you've hurt people. Your ego has become self-righteous, and say sorry from the heart. And we'll end with the Ho'oponopono prayer. Anything or anybody that comes to mind, keep them in front of your internal vision, and with your head bowed, internally say, I love you. Thank you for being my teacher and reminding me what I had to learn in this lifetime, for calling my soul to rise and understand why I am here, what I was born to learn. Thank you. Please forgive me for anything I have done consciously or unconsciously, intentionally or unintentionally. If I have ever hurt you in any way, please forgive me. I am sorry. I am sorry. I am sorry. Rub your palms together and cup your eyes. Blink into it, and only when you're ready, open your eyes.